Hey, what's up YouTube? Just wanted to take a moment to make a video on the topic of protection from the sun for all your tropical trees as we're heading into the hot summer days here, um, especially here in the Central Valley, California, where we get not only high heat but extreme UV as well. And quick solution to that, very simple: shade cloth. This shade cloth here is 30 to 40%. I had a 50%, but I thought that was overkill, so I opted for this one instead, just because I wanted the trees to also get as much sunlight as possible, but without damaging the leaves from sun exposure. So that's pretty easy. You can pick one of those up on Amazon. I'll have links to all this stuff in the description, but just set it up and have your trees under them. Make sure they are at least protected from, I'd say at the earliest, maybe like, if you wanted to go 10 o'clock, 10 in the morning, all the way till at least 4:30, 5, because it can get pretty intense and you don't want to get sunburn on your leaves, any sun damage. Like, I think I have an example here, like this leaf here. I don't know if you can see these kind of darker areas here. That's because of being exposed to high UV. So, and once that happens, that leaf really can't recover. So that's a really easy solution. But another overlooked issue when it comes to protecting your trees, and this is only for trees in pots, tropicals, these are all mango trees right here, is the pots themselves. If you notice here, I have this fabric. This is a burlap. This is a white burlap that I wrapped around these black nursery pots because, as you know, any dark colored objects in the full sun, doesn't matter if it's winter or summer, they will heat up a lot. They will absorb a lot of heat, and you can try it out yourself. Just touch a dark colored object and that's been sitting out in the sun all day, and it will nearly burn at the touch. And so you think about it, you're putting all this effort into growing your trees and maintaining them, and then you overlook something as simple as your pot heating up in the sun. That's just something that's so easy to avoid. And so you definitely want to take action on that. Like I said, this is really easy. It's just a burlap fabric that I cut to the length of the pot, wrapped it around, and then I used one of those tag guns for clothes where you attach tags to. I don't know if you see a little plastic tab. Just kind of fold it to hide these frayed ends. I know I need to do a better job here, but I just quickly put this together, and it's been very effective. I've had these on for more than a year. They haven't fallen off, they haven't ripped or anything, and they've done a good job. And you can see I have a lot of them not wrapped up, but that's because I have them behind these, so these are shading them. That's the thing. If you aren't going to do something like this, at least make sure you put the pots behind something or shade them in some way from that south facing sun. Anyways, somebody was asking about these, so I thought I'd make a video showing what I did. And some people say, yeah, you can find easier solutions like painting your pots white with a can of spray paint. Yeah, that can work, though I find this is more effective, because if you notice, there's this bit of a gap here. It kind of gives right here because of the lip of this pot, and the actual pot creates that gap, and what that allows is air to flow, and that makes it more effective than spray paint. Not only that, but you can also wet this, and that evaporation will cool it off too, though that may be a bit much. It won't be necessary, but just in case if it gets really hot. And like I said, yeah, I've had no issues. You can see all the way down there, I've got more, and really easy, really inexpensive to do, and doesn't take long to set up. Not only that, but you can reuse them over and over again, if you up pot to bigger pots. And so yeah, like I said, I feel that's a topic that wasn't covered as much. I know there was I was reading on a forum about a gentleman who demonstrated, or rather he explained to us a very exaggerated example of it, where he had a tree that was south facing, and when he went to up pot it, when he pulled it out, one side that was south facing, the roots were all black and dried up and dead, and on the other side opposite it, the roots were vibrant, white, still alive. And so that's just an example of an exaggerated example of what can happen if you're not taking care of keeping your dark colored pots out of the sun. So yeah, I just wanted to make this video real quick. Here's all my mango trees here. If you've been following, keeping up to date, they've all been doing well. Lots of growth there on that orange sherbet. I don't know if you can see all those like light colored leaves. They're still hardening off. All of these here, Gary, Glen, Carrie, Pineapple Pleasure, Pina Colada, Sugarloaf, Peach Cobbler, all these fruit punch, doing well. Far more growth than last year. I even got some trees that I grafted myself here. Looks like they took, these are Pina Colada grafts, lemon zest graft here, all doing well. And so yeah, I'll try to do a better update for you guys later as we head into these hot summer months. So make sure you stay tuned and subscribe, so I got more coming out. Thank you. Bye for now.